spirit of winter, I've been slowing down a little bit more. Even though it's funny, I feel like I need a little bit more heat because I'm not a fan of being cold at all. But winter is this beautiful time where we can like slow down and draw in a little bit more. And even though it feels like we want to warm up, it is kind of just this natural pause that everything takes, that like the whole like life just takes a pause. But we don't always, like, we're humans, right? We're not like squirrels and bears and, you know, all the other creatures that get that, you know, natural pause. We are asked to do so many other things in our life and continue to have like things that are drawing our attention elsewhere. So let's try and get like a little, my goal for these next few months is to just like provide a space where we can pause, where we can move a little bit slower, where we can give ourselves permission to do so, because there are very little, it feels like, at least in my life, spaces where that permission is given. So if you have a pillow and a yoga block, have that ready to go. We can get, actually, I'd love to start to incorporate just a little bit more restorative sort of poses. If you have a space on the wall that like doesn't have, like, kind of similar to this, like doesn't have any like pictures or anything nearby, or someplace, even a door will work. I would like to incorporate legs up the wall. And I feel like, yeah, I see Jess is like, boom. And it's oftentimes, I found a trickier sort of restorative pose to get into virtually. Like, it's very easy when you're in a yoga space to be like, here's the open wall and here's your pillow and this is how we get in. And then once you're in, you get to relax. But if this sounds appealing to you, I thought towards the end of class, we could relax with our legs up. And with your traditionally, you could just lay on the ground and take your legs up the wall. And your bottom or your low back, your sacrum, can be as close to the wall as you want. So you're in a 90 degree, or far enough away from the wall where you could just put your heels on the wall and you're on an incline. The goal is just to get your feet and possibly your hips a little higher than your heart. So if you want your hips a little higher than your heart, so you're in an inversion, it's supportive, of course, but an inversion, you can slide a pillow or a block, whatever feels better for your body, underneath your low back. So you're elevating your hips a little bit. So it can kind of like take a little bit of work to get into. But if you guys are down for it, I would love to set us up and then allow you to take your rest there. And of course, if you get there and you're like, this is not what I want, this is not what my body wants, then you can lay down on the ground or take whatever you need, of course. Cool, sound good? I just wanted to make sure we were all set up for that, so I didn't like pull you out of your nice, hopeful, like calm headspace to get you set up into it. Okay, so have that on your radar. I will give you a little bit of music to hopefully allow you to settle in, to give you permission to let go. So we'll start in a seat. So you can grab your block or your pillow to just sit up on top of. Take any movement that you need in the shoulders and the head and the neck. And if it feels safe or okay, you can close your eyes or just maybe even soften the gaze. You can look down towards the ground to lessen the distraction around you. And take a big breath in, all the way to the top, like fullest capacity. And then a slow exhale out. And start to do that a few more times. And or of course, as much as you need throughout your time on your mat today. Our miracles and life's magic don't appear when we're restless and frantic. Most of the miracles and magic happen when we're still, when we're quiet, when we're calm, and when we're trusting. And of course, each of us have a favorite item or place or thing or activity that helps to calm and quiet us. So just start to become aware of what stills your mind. Sometimes it is giving yourself permission to still or be still in your body. Or to even slow down with the breath. Or just even noticing the breath can help still our mind. So again, take a breath in nice and slow to the top. And slow all the way to the bottom of the exhale. Sometimes even placing a hand either on your belly or your chest. Just as an anchor, like a physical anchor to draw you towards this present moment. To your body. Which sometimes allows your mind to follow suit. When you start to notice the things that allow you to slow down, that allow you to be still in your body, in your mind, you can use those places or things to find that stillness within yourself. And then notice the power that's in that stillness. It's a power that comes gently. Like the morning sunrise or the evening stars. So if you can take time each day to seek out that stillness, to find that sacred spot for yourself. That place where you can let your mind and your soul be at ease. Again, take a breath in and a long breath out. And slowly start to draw your chin towards the center of your chest. And of course, you can keep your eyes closed as you roll your head over to the right. And then back through the center and then over to the left. And back through center. Start to lift your chin, lift your face open to the front of the throat. And then slowly come back to neutral, like the weight of your head is just right on top of your spine, almost like floating on top, right? As you sit up nice and tall. And you can take your legs out in front of you, give them a little bit of a break after a long seat, shake them out, roll the ankles. Wiggle the toes, fan them out. And if it feels okay, start to bring the soles of your feet together, your knees wide. Now your heels can be as close towards you or as far away as you need them to be. Just to feel that support in your hips or a little bit more openness. That external rotation as the knees draw out. Sit up nice and tall and bring your hands to your knees or your shin. And as you do that, start to lift your chest a little higher and roll your shoulders back. Think about the collarbones expanding if you want. Lift the chin if that feels good. And then counter here. Think about cat pose as you round your upper back, send your shoulders forward. Maybe even as you lean back. The back of your heart leans back, your chin draws towards your chest. And then we'll slowly move through that 2 more times. Inhale to slightly rock forward, send the heart forward, shoulders back, lift the chin. And then exhale to round. Take just 1 more like that on your own. Just warming up the spine in all different directions as we build a little bit bigger. And you'll come back to neutral and take the opposite shin in front to find your like cross-legged seat. So the opposite shin being the one that doesn't really come natural, right? We usually favor one side. I want you to take the opposite just to keep it even. Sit up nice and tall, sweep the arms out and up. Take a deep breath in to rise up, if that feels okay, or bend at the elbows. And then as you exhale, twist over to the right. You can bring left hand to your thigh or knee. You can hold on to the pillow behind you, and if it feels okay, maybe even look over your right shoulder. Be gentle with yourself and then rise back up. Take a breath in, either arms overhead or out like a T. And then twist to the left. And coming back through center, reach both hands up or out like goalposts. Look up. And then exhale, release arms down alongside you. You can remove that pillow and place it off to the side. Keep it close by, we'll use it. And then you'll just swing your legs around behind you. Find tabletop pose. And start to find lateral movement side to side. So last week we did a lot of side lengthening. We won't do as much today, but it's so nice to think of all 6 ways that your spine moves, and we move them to some degree every day in those 6 ways, right? So we move our spine, our vertebra. So find neutral just in that tabletop pose, pause, and then take a breath in to lift the heart, lift the chin, lift the tail, find cow. And then exhale, press into your hands, round your back and drop your head, cat. And do that 2 to 3 more rounds on your own, but I want you to really move slowly with your breath. So the inhale lifts the heart. The exhale lifts the upper back and you round. So nice. And then come back to neutral. Take your knees a little bit wider apart. And either your big toes can touch or they can draw together. Start to pull your hips back and find your first balasana, child's pose. Now, I like to take a pillow and slide it right underneath my chest. And then you can soften through the elbows, maybe even wrap your forearms underneath that pillow, creating a little ramp. And then you can bring one cheek down towards that pillow. Or if you want to take just a traditional child's pose, it's forehead towards your mat. Either arms stretched in front of you or down along your sides. So all different options here. You take what you need. And you pause, take a breath in. Give yourself permission to just sink in stillness as you exhale. And sometimes moving slowly goes like against our natural grain, or what is ingrained in our bodies, our nervous system. So see if you can lessen the judgment if your mind hasn't slowed down to catch up to that slow movement. And then again, bring in your breath, breathe in. Slow exhale. And if you have one cheek down, I'd like you to switch sides just to keep the muscles in your neck a little even. You're just here for 5. 4. Slow, steady breath. 3. 2. Last one. And you'll slowly start to rise up off that pillow. You can take it off to the side. Keep it close by. And then come back to tabletop pose. Spread the fingers wide. Take any movement. Maybe you rock the hips side to side or in a circle one direction. And then the other. And you'll start to just walk your hands up your thighs and come up onto your knees. You can tuck your toes under for a little bit of a stretch in the bottom of the feet. That might feel good. And start to take your arms out like a T or bend like a W, like we did last week, like you were holding plates. So then you can start to squeeze the muscles in your upper back. So it's not so much a back bend, but it's the slight engagement of the upper back at the same time, just to keep your chest broad here. And you can stay like this, or then drop right hand down and reach left arm up. So then you find that stretch on the left side. And then you come back up to that W or arms out like a T, and then drop over to the left. Left hand drops, right hand can rise or stay bent. So nice. And then you'll rise up, step your right foot forward and grab your block if you have it. I want you to bring it to the highest setting, and it'll be underneath your left hand, right in front of you. And you can wiggle walk that right foot even a little bit wider if you want a little more external rotation in the hip. Take your right toes to 2 o'clock. So if they were to face on a clock, it would be to 2 o'clock. Right hand comes to your right knee or your thigh. Start to lift your heart a little bit here. Take a breath in, nice and gentle. Look over your right elbow. Maybe you choose to stay here. Now, if you want a quad stretch, this is like added bonus. I'm just going to throw it out there, but it's certainly not a requirement. You can bend your back knee and maybe right hand reaches for that foot. And if it's like too much right away, let it go. If you need to readjust. Let's take one more breath in wherever you are. And then exhale, come back towards center. Heel toe that foot in a little more. And then I want you to tuck the back toes. Keep that hand on the block. And then lift your back knee up. Spin that heel down. Rise up to warrior 2, but with the bent elbows. So like that W, like you were holding plates. And then again, start to squeeze slightly. Squeeze your upper back muscles. Feel them engage. Take one more breath in. Maybe sink a little bit lower in your front knee just to feel that quad a little more. And then straighten the legs. Parallel the feet. Hands to your hips. Lift your heart. Take a breath in. And with soft knees, fold forward. So let this be restorative. You can even grab your block. And if it's there, you can take your feet a little wider if you want. Maybe your forehead comes to that block and you just rock your head gently side to side on it. So you create like a little bit of a massage on your forehead. A little more ease, or let your head hang when you ditch that block, whatever you need. Soften your face. Soften your jaw. Notice where you're gripping. Maybe you need to soften your knees a little bit more. And then when you're ready, find a halfway lift. Heel toe your feet just a little bit closer. So you can really find that support under your feet and bring your hands back to your hips. I want you to stand all the way up, but so slow. Rise. Pause there for a moment. Shrug your shoulders as you inhale. Open your mouth, let out a sigh as you exhale. And then step to the front of your mat. Heel toe your feet so they're right underneath your hips, arms down along your sides, palms forward. Again, shrug your shoulders here as you breathe in. Open up your mouth. Soften the jaw. And start to shift the weight into the left foot. And you can bring your right foot either as a kickstand on the ground at your ankle. Maybe it comes up to your inner calf, maybe your upper leg. So all options, 1, 2, 3, just never on the knee, finding tree pose. Your hands can come to your heart. And no version of this shape, whatever you took, is better or worse than another. So then find your breath, the most important part of every shape that you take. Take a breath in. Soften the shoulders as you exhale. Keep grounding down through that left foot. Take one more breath in. Maybe even lift the chin. And then exhale, drop your right foot down. Maybe you start to shake out the arms, roll the shoulders, roll the wrists. Take what you need. So nice. And then grab your block, make sure it's at the top of your mat. And sweep the arms either out to a T, bend the elbows, or lift them up to the sky. Take a breath in. And then soften through your knees as you hinge at the hips and fold forward. Your fingertips can graze the ground or bring your hands to your block, whatever you need, and shake out the legs. So bend one knee at a time. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. And take a halfway lift here. I want you to press your hands into your thighs, almost like as an opposing force as you reach your heart forward, the crown of your head forward. Take one more inhale, nice and long. And then exhale, drop the hands. If it feels okay, drop or send the left foot, that's where it is, back. Sometimes the words are in the mind, but they don't come out of my mouth. And then drop your left knee down. Awesome. Reach your arms either up or out like goalposts as you lift the chest. Then start to send your right hand to your left wrist. Just lean over to the right one last time. Rise back up. Right knee comes to meet the left. Bring your hands in front of you. Find tabletop pose. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Lift your heart. Find cow. Moving slow, round through cat. 2 to 3 more rounds on your own. So I want you to really use this time to reconnect with your slow inhale. Slow exhale. If you need any other movement along the way, take it. And when you're ready, walk your hands up your thighs. You're just going to rise back onto your knees. Tuck the back toes, or tuck your toes rather, behind you. So again, get a stretch through the back, to the bottom of the feet. And then you can step your left foot forward. Now, if your toes being tucked behind you is too much, untuck them. I want you to grab your block, place it right in front of you, like inside that left foot, but closer out towards the edge of your mat. Right hand can stay. You can wiggle walk that left foot. We're finding that easy lunge twist. Hand to your knee or your thigh, look over to your left elbow. And that might be where you stay. If you want to turn your toes out to 10 o'clock, awesome. Maybe you lift your heart a little more. Stay here, maybe bend the back knee, grab for the foot. Of course, all just options. Wherever you choose to land, you breathe. In, out. One more inhale to stay. And then exhale just to come back towards center. I want you to wiggle walk that foot in a little bit more. Your left hand can stay there for support. Tuck your back toes. Lift your knee up. Spin your heel down. Rise up to that warrior two, but modified, bending through the elbows. And it doesn't have to be your deepest warrior two, of course. If you need to back off a little bit, back off. And maybe the knee just bends a little. Take a breath in, engage the back body a little more. And then exhale if you wish, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Stay, soften the face, breathe in, breathe out. So nice. And then straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Grab your block again one last time to bring it underneath the forehead as you fold down with ease. So softening the elbows, softening the knees. If that means they have to bend a lot, bend them a lot. If this is too much of an inversion here, bring hands to your block, chest parallel to the ground. You're just here for one more round of breath. In. Keep pressing down through your feet. Let that be your foundation. Breathe out. And then bring your hands to your hips when you're ready. Halfway lift. And you'll slowly stand up. I want you to pause there. Shrug your shoulders up on the inhale. Open your mouth. Let them fall down and back as you empty. And then you get to step to the front of your mat. Mountain pose again, arms down along your sides, shrug your shoulders, breathe in. Mouth open as you empty. And bring your hands to your hips. Shift the weight to the right foot. And then pick your left foot up. Find tree pose. Maybe it's just to the ankle. Maybe it's a little higher. Find that steady point in front of you where your eyes land. Permission to find stillness for 3. Last 2. Maybe even your last breath calls your face to look up, your chin lifts. And then you drop that foot down. Shake anything out, roll the shoulders, open and close the mouth a few times. Take an inhale. Again, open your mouth. Big sigh out. And either reach the arms up and overhead or bend the elbows wide like goal posts. And then soften through the knees and fold. Grab your block if you have it. Bring it underneath your hands. Halfway lift right here. And then exhale. Keep your hands on the block. Soften the knees, soften the elbows, and fold. And we're going to do that one more time. Take a breath in, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Keep that block close by. Place the hands down. If it feels okay, step the right foot back. Drop the right knee. And when you're ready, lift the chest. Sweep arms out. Maybe they stay or they reach up. Left hand can meet your right wrist. And lean over to the left. One last time. And you'll rise up. Left knee comes to meet the right. Hands come down. Tabletop pose. Last time here to move through cat-cows at your own pace. And then we really slow things down to find ease. Excuse me. And then make your way to, a little tickle in my throat, sorry. Your child's pose. Either supported on a bolster, a pillow, a block under the forehead. And then you sink. Close the eyes. Stay here as long as you need. And whenever you're ready, you can back off, come out of it. You can place that pillow a little further towards the front of your mat. We're going to take 2 more restorative poses after this. So a heart opening, and then we'll move to finish with our legs up against the wall. So with that pillow in front of you, you need to just turn around to face the back of your mat. And then you'll lie back, letting your heart be the highest point. So readjust where your sacrum lands to make sure you have enough space in your low back. And then your arms can come down along your sides. Flip your palms up to encourage the collarbones to open up, to soften. And you can stay here, or if you want a little bit more opening in the chest, start to take the arms out closer towards a T. And then of course, you can bend at the elbows, bringing the elbows close to you, kind of similar to what we did when we were standing. And you can keep either the feet just like supported on the ground, or you can even walk them a little wider than your hips and knock your knees together. Everyone's body is different. Whatever lets you feel supported, grounded in your low body, or your lower body rather, so you can find freedom in the upper body. Take that. And then once you land there, take a breath in through your nose. And then open up your mouth, maybe even stick out your tongue. It's like a clearing space here. We call it Simhasana. It's a type of pranayama where it's like a clearing, cleansing breath. Take a breath in again through your nose. And then maybe even stick out your tongue. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Take 1 or 2 more rounds like that on your own. And then feel the back of your head sink into that pillow, that bolster, block, or even the ground, wherever you've landed. As the back of your heart feels supported, so it feels safe for the front of your chest, your heart, to open up, to expand a little bit more. Give yourself that permission again if you need it. To be still, to find that quiet within you. To find that power that exists within that still space. You're here for free. Come back to your breath if you need it to. Last one. Slowly to come out of it, you'll just gently roll to your side off of that pillow and just remove it. And if you need to pause there for a moment, of course you can. And then you'll come up to a seat, nice and slow, but be easy with your gaze, right? Like still keep your awareness on your mat. As you find that space, that clear space on the wall where you know your legs will land, I'm going to set you up. So you can have that pillow close by, or bring it right near like the baseboard, right? About like 6 inches away to start. You need it. And then you'll slide your seat up towards that space. And your feet can almost touch the baseboards or the wall in front of you. And you roll onto your side. And then you can slide yourself even closer, right? Towards that space. You might just pause here and you're like, okay, this is where I want to be. This is enough. Or you can start to roll onto your back, place your feet onto the wall. Almost like you're creating a 90-degree angle here. And then as you press your feet into the wall with support, then lift your seat. Slide your pillow underneath you to lift your hips higher than your heart. And you might stay here. If you want a little more, you can bring your heels to the wall. So this is your supported inversion, right? Your hips higher than your heart, your feet higher than your heart, and just on this alone has so many benefits as you allow the toes to soften, allow the ankles to soften, the knees soften. Allow the hips to soften. Allow the belly to soften. You might even flip the palms up to feel the shoulders, the chest soften. If you can, allow the neck to soften, the jaw, features of your face. Allow the eyes to close. And if at any point this feels like too much in the legs, you can bend your knees and plant your feet on the wall. If this doesn't feel like your body, or exactly what your body needs, your whole body can lie on the ground for that traditional rest, Shavasana. And again, give yourself that permission. Reframing the mind. Know that stillness is just as productive, maybe even more so than moving, or even moving fast. Take time each day to seek out stillness, to find that sacred spot. Let your mind and soul be at ease. Don't grasp and grab for the magic and miracles. Because when you reside in that place of stillness, the joy, the miracles, and the magic you're seeking will find you. Allow your next breath to be a little bit bigger than the last. You can wiggle the toes here, roll the ankles, and then start to bend your knees. And the same way you came into this shape will be how you exit. So start to roll to the side of your choice, nice and easy. Or you can even lift your hips and slide that pillow out first. And you can, in your own time, roll to your side and then just lift yourself up to find a seat. Sitting up nice and tall. And start to bring your hands together right in front of your heart, or if it feels even better, take one hand there and then the other hand on top. Slightly bow your chin towards that space, that quiet space within you. Acknowledge it, see it, and then honor yourself for showing up to find that quiet space, if even just for a round of breath. Know that that is enough and no effort is ever wasted. Take a breath in. Open up your mouth. And with your hands together, thumb tips can meet your forehead. Maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Letting this practice be a time where you are kind to yourself so you can share that kindness in your own way with others. Namaste. Happy